that created an old road that used to come down from there. And we're gonna make a turn here and go up that road.
Okay.
And it's higher, and it solves all the water problems. It really does. And, it'll be neat, it'll be a nice ride. And depending on where you go to town, it'll be just as quick to go that way. I think.
Yeah, and if you're gonna go
On
down
that side of
to East
town.
Ferry,
Yeah, get your coffee and
go
all
that way.
that. Okay, great.
Like you don't need.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming
Pick
in.
up at the,
Thanks. Thank you for letting us.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
thanks for all your
Thank
work.
you for stopping.
All
I
right.
should have done this months ago.
Well, we
Take
had
care.
somebody on the committee that was
Yeah.
supposed to be there.
I had no idea it was that expensive. That's great.
What Jeremy, did you just happen to talk to somebody?
No, Nancy took the law into her own hands, well advised, and said to Julie, can you come to the next meeting because we're talking about it? And she said she would be here, but then I guess she called and said she would send.
She said she didn't know if she could be here, but she or Samara would try and come.
Right.
And so I said, just all I need is a report. I'll pick it up at your house.
I'm glad you did
I wish
that.
I would have known, because I'm on part of it, so I'm.
Right.
I knew you were part of it, but you weren't.
Yeah.
The problem was that Kate suggested, had this wonderful
Yeah, when she
suggestion.
brought that suggestion, you weren't here last.
You weren't
night.
at the
I
meeting,
missed
so
that.
that's
And all of a sudden, we were in sort of this we knew we were in an
We were wondering
overlapping
how much-
situation, which we didn't realize that we were actually been overlapping for a long time. But, so we kind of wanted to see, what they had done with what we were thinking, and that's what brought
And
that.
we just did some roughness. When was the last time you think as a group, that group talked about going through election?
Oh, gosh, it's been a couple of years.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know, what I didn't know is, oh yeah, we met on last week.
Yeah.
It's not that big. Okay. All right, then let's go on, and let's go to this report. Are we at that point? I think we are. Kate's not here, so let's go to that. I wrote this up, and Justin attached the photographs, and I'm going to work with Justin to work the photographs into the narrative a little bit differently, so that there's a picture next to what we're talking about. And the pictures will probably be smaller and be sort of integrated into the narrative itself. But if you want, let's just very quickly go through, and most of it, I just took different reports that I had done for the council over the last 2 years, and just put them together and then made transition sentences and that sort of thing. But on page 1 of the report, which is the back side of the cover, all I did was repeat our mission statement with the council and DOT, because DOT, remember, needed that mission statement.
Right.
And so the first part is a repeat of the mission statement that we have already, all of this will look familiar to you and sound familiar because it's exactly the same thing. But when I got to, then I did on page 2, Jamestown Bridge and Tussock Road. We talked about this, well, it had never been written down, so I wrote it down. So what I'd like to do is just go through each recommendation to DOT and see if it should be expanded or if you like it like it is. And what I'm saying on that section of what we're talking about, they have the following recommendations to DOT. 1, provide proper informational shared use signage to motorists and allow experienced bikers to utilize the Jamestown Bridge. And I don't know how they do that, and I don't know how experienced, you would define experience.
I was just going to say,
Well, it can't be a hard and fast thing, but what I guess I'm saying is it isn't parents taking their little kids across it on the bike ride, first bike ride.
right. I don't know how they would word that either, because you can't really bar people from doing it, but you can recommend to people.
That kind of thing,
Right.
or advise people at the
If
start.
nothing else, they do put out a brochure every year with the bike paths, and they could, I'm sure, label that and maybe have a sign at the entrances.
And so, but as a committee, we don't have any problem with that recommendation.
No, that's
That they open it up for bikes, get the thing open, and let bikes go across. Secondly, bikers coming across the bridge from the west, when they're in North Kingstown, would exit at Route 138 at Tussock Road and utilize the Tussock Road to North Road. Tussock Road would be properly signed as a shared use road. Are we all in agreement on that?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. 3, bikers coming from the east would utilize the existing entrance ramp at North Road and proceed along Route 138, Route 138 east across the bridge. The road would be properly signed as a shared use roadway and the speed limit enforced.
Now, did you want to go into that, going off the exit?
I didn't, I think
Or do you
that we'll show it in the picture, because
That's
next to
good.
this is going to be the picture of how they might do it. And they
Good.
Otherwise, you get all this big narrative and.
So that's what I was thinking, it might be hard to actually put on paper and have it make sense.
That picture that we've got somewhere that shows the bikeway going in and then coming back out would solve that. And it's more of a technical discussion that you'd have with DOT anyway
Right.
at that point, than it is a public.
They may even want to just warn vehicles that this is a shared road with cyclists, caution cyclists using
Put a
road or
bikeway right
whatever.
across the break, right
Yeah,
across
it's
the
just
ramp.
where it's going, just go direct and,
Yeah.
and, like I said, put warning signs.
Yeah. So is there any other recommendation that you can think of that we would want to add to that section?
No, unless we go into, like you said, an off-road path or something, which was just going to get too complicated.
Okay.
Is it okay for walkers to walk on the area that has the fence? That's how I get across.
I think so.
I don't know that it's against the law to walk across the sidewalk. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
I didn't know if you knew.
So now North Road. Now here I did some editing from the stuff that we had done originally and submitted to the council. But anyway, North Road south of 138 is relatively narrow, state-maintained secondary highway, very narrow shoulders, confining guardrails, significant drainage ditches on both sides of the road. Narrows at the creek area. Cars, trucks, buses, bicycles must share a total area between guardrails of less than 29 feet. Additionally, fishermen parking for the bait shop further congest this very tight area, and the speed limit of 40 miles an hour probably aggravates the danger of the tightly confined rural area. North Road north of Route 138 is a town road and is even narrower, however, relatively wide unpaved shoulders and a speed limit of 25 miles per hour minimize some of the mixed-use impacts. Because of the limited access, Route 138 may serve this. Because of the limited access, Route 138 may service vehicles and delivery vans. I think I got a bad sentence.
No,
Anyway.
You're just reading.
Oh, many, I'm saying
Yeah.
many. Many service vehicles and delivery vans utilize North Road as the principal access to all residential areas in the north area. So that just sets up North Road generally. Then as recommendations, I broke it down to North Road south and North Road north. And basically, I won't read all of that, but it goes into what we all know, is that it's a very sensitive environmental area, that there's agricultural land, there's environmentally sensitive land, and there's a very narrow roadway. Our recommendations would be this. The entirety of this section should be signed to notify motorists that the road is a shared use roadway. Now, I'm only talking about the south section here. Between 138 and the creek, the DOT widen the existing road shoulders as much as possible within the existing right-of-way. In some sections of North Road, this could be as much as 1 or 2 feet in some areas and as few inches in other areas. But the overall impact would be to provide some additional room for experienced bikers. Up here, I'm saying, I guess we should go back, because up in this second paragraph, I mentioned that the committee faced the difficult reality that for the foreseeable future, biking on North Road should be for experienced bike riders who are not faint-hearted. Now, does anybody disagree with us saying that to the town? That's the first time I said it in that way, but I do think that I can't think of any way where you could properly build a roadway, a shared roadway there, that a little kid on one of those little junior bicycles could be on with any degree of safety. And that North Road, and you have experienced bike riders here, there's 2 of them. Both of you ride it on a regular basis.
Oh, I don't ride the bridge. You mean the
No,
North Road?
North Road.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so
North
the bridge.
Road.
Yeah, all right.
And we're saying if you're experienced and you want to do it, and you understand what it's all about, that people can do it, but that's what the committee's going to say anyway.